Hello YouTube, this is your friendly neighborhood Tetrologist here, and I'm actually playing a game out on my own without Truth or anyone else with me this time. I'm going to be working on Neverwinter Nights 2. Now, you may notice me and Truth worked on this together a little bit, we haven't been recording much lately. But I decided, I want to play this on my own, creating a character that is not going to fit conventions. So, I'm going to do the official campaign. The reason I'm showing the loading screens and everything right now is, one, I'm too lazy to cut them out, and two, I don't want to cut them out. So, now, I can just load up one of my pre-made characters, which I'm tempted to do. This is the character base I'm going to be working with. He's meant for multiplayer, and he's playing with a friend, so he has no charisma bonuses. I'm going to be changing that. That's why he's got the really high strength. But I'm going to create a character. And now, normally, there's multiple races in this game, and then there's sub-races within each race normally. But like some races have different, like this, like Grey Orcs. +2 wisdom, -2 charisma, +2 strength, -2 intelligence. They're okay. But they have a +1 level adjustment. I'm not going to be doing that. So I'm going to stick with a human. And sorry for that bang, someone messaged me. I told them I was going to be recording. Apparently they didn't do much. So I'm going to stick with the human male. And I'm going to make him tall as... oh, fuck. And make him a little bit beefier. Now, I'm not going to do tons in the creation screen. Eesh, too young. That's the default. Too old. Way too old. Weird. Actually, that one works. The face fuzz. And the earrings. Well, maybe not the ear. Well, actually, yeah, those could work. Let's see what else we got. This works. A little bit of stubble, a little bit of destructive force. Hair. So, thing to take note of. I play this game for fun. I don't take it seriously at all. I will probably die a couple times playing through this with this character because, unlike normal conventions, I don't follow the fact of, I want to be a little bit of everything. I want to be strong enough to take on everything. I already have a plan set out for this character, for the most part. I might switch it up a little bit and use a different weapon, but I'm planning on going with battle axes. Now, people are like, oh, battle axes are blah 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 blah. I've looked up the information on them. They are a 1d10 with a ×3 crit multiplier and a natural 20 roll. So I'm not going the traditional longsword. I think I'm gonna just stick with that hair. I can change the skin color. I think I'm gonna go with this one here. A little bit tanned. It's warrior. Eye color I could change. Blue eyes, brown eyes, freaking dark brown eyes, gray eyes. I'm gonna go with the light green one for this guy. He's gonna be interesting. Now for the hair, I can. The cool thing is, like, you can change the eyebrow colors, and such. I can make them darker. I can make them lighter. But this is what I like. I could change the hair highlight color and just make it, like, without changing the default color of the hair, and make it look different each time. So I think I like this one the best. And then, I could change that little ring in the back of his hair, which I'm just gonna change to purple. I don't know why. But so everyone's like, okay, well, before I did a barbarian, and barbarians are fun and all, but the armor class, like, they have the biggest hit die, but the armor's just, like, not the greatest. So, like, I should do a fighter and see what I could do with this. And I experimented with this a little bit. I actually, built the character and worked them up a little bit and came up with quite an entertaining setup. Now, I am going to use a fighter. The problem is late game, or about partway through the game, I'm going to be switching into this guy, the Frenzied Berserker. Now, this means I can't be lawful, That doesn't mean I can't be good. I just can't be lawful. And he's got a really big hit die. It's going to be my late game setup. But the reason I'm going into fighter early is because I basically will be able to keep my armor proficiencies, my really high armor stats, and ability to wield shields and extra talents for when I go into the other class. And this will hit about the same time as Barbarian. The only difference is I have extremely good setup for having high armor, having a shield, having some good skills. Now, because I have to be chaotic, I'm going to do chaotic good, which means I'm going to do the good thing no matter what. I'm not exactly going to follow the law, but I'm going to do the right thing. So, now, as for my god, I did Auril before, Frost Maiden, Ice Dawn, Goddess, so on and so forth. But, I mean, the setup I'm using, you can use it for any one-handed weapon, or you can even use it for a two-handed weapon and get Monkey Grip early. That way you can use it with one hand and carry a shield. I'm extremely tempted to do that, but for one-handed weapons you can't use, like, spears and size. You have to have... well, I think it works with spears and size, but I'm not sure. I haven't tested it myself. I think... I'd love to do it with a greatsword, but I don't want to use swords because, well, they're used a lot. And unfortunately, I might do Tempest, Lord of Battle. Sometimes I do halberds, and I'm gonna resist that urge. I think I will do battle axes again with this character, mostly because, you know, they're a good weapon. They hit pretty hard. They're pretty strong. And they just do a large amount of damage. So, now, reasons why I put everything at 10. Negatives are not good to have. So, I don't know, it takes away some of my points, but my main attribute's going to be strength. I'm not going to worry about dexterity at all. I want to build a little bit of constitution for extra health, extra fortitude saves, which I don't need. I'm going to need to get some charisma, unfortunately. Now, this is where I'm pretty much, you know, I've got 2 points, but, you know, it's not enough to really do much. The reason why I always try and get at least 1 plus in intelligence is because of the base multipliers on how many skill points you start with. Each class starts with skill points determined by their class times their intelligence multiplier, or their intelligence buff. So mine's a times 2, so I start with a lot of points. And then it adds 2 points every level up. So, now I could go into dexterity, get 1 point in here, get another point in my reflex saves, which will help me run from traps, give me a little extra armor, or I could put it into will and get a little extra magic resistance. No, I can only get 1 point in charisma. Well, you know what? I think I'll do this. Just put the 1 point in charisma here. And why that is because I will be getting an item early game that gives me +1 charisma. And I'll probably put my first skill point to charisma, so I have +3 boost to it to make it better. And from there, I will see what's going on. So, sorry about that. I got another bing. I forgot to set my thing to busy. So, next. So, this is my enter setup. The backgrounds are kind of iffy. Because I'm going to be using Intimidate over Diplomacy. Why Intimidate? Well, because it's easier for me to grind Intimidate, honestly. And, you know, Intimidate's fairly good. I mean, it makes things more interesting. You're not always just trying to, you know, bluff your way out of a situation. You're more so saying, I'm stronger than you, I can do this. So, you know, I try and do something that complements my character pretty well. I would do Militia, but I don't want to lose any more will saves than I already have. Just for the sheer fact of, well, militia. Like, my will save is already extremely low. It would have been lower if I'd left my thing at 8. I honestly think I'm just going to stay away from doing any of these. I not have a really determined past because none of these really give me anything I want. So I'm not going to have a specific background. Just to see. Now, this is the thing. This is what I was talking about. I have to start with 20 skill points. Normally, I would start with a lot less than this. So, taunt is one skill they want you to get. I like it, but at the same time, it's not worth getting, honestly, in my opinion. Parry is, in my opinion, one of the best skills if your class is built around parry. My class is not going to be. Intimidate is what I want. I want people to be afraid of me. Now, something else I'm going to do is craft weapons and craft armor. You're going to look at this and say, oh, that's kind of stupid, you know, you can find all the stuff in the game. You can. You really can. But the thing is this will allow me to make, like, mithril armor, mithril chain shirts, which are technically classified as medium armor, but they have no arcane spell penalties. So it will allow me to make great items for my casters later on. Well, since I have points left, I will put some in taunt. That'll let me keep things trying to kill me in battle. And I have these 4 points left. Now, you can have up to 5 points left over every level up. And what's going to happen is I'm going to pick a skill with my level up that will let me use those points. Now, see, I start with all armor, most weapon, and tower shield proficiencies. And, you know, I get a talent right away because I'm human. Now, a lot of people are looking at these, it's like, oh, none of these are good. This is my fighter pick, which means fighters get at level 1, 2, and every 2 levels afterwards of fighter class, I get a free skill point to use on this list of abilities or stronger abilities. So, I can get skill like power attack, which, you know, great to pick up early, especially for a fighter. I have a list of abilities. I could get my weapon focused right now, but I'm not going to be able to pick that weapon up right now. So I'm going to stick with power attack, just so any weapon I'm using does damage. Now, these are the 2 feats I get. One for being a level 1 human, and one for being level 1. Then I get a skill at level 3, and then every 3 levels afterwards. I don't get the human one ever again. So, I could... One of the skills I like picking up is, especially for a class that doesn't have a lot of will save, is Luck of Heroes. It gives me +1 to all saving throws and +1 luck bonus to my armor class. It's going to make me a little bit beefier early game. Now, I would normally pick Cleave right now. And the reason I'm not going to pick Cleave right now is, one, it makes... I don't need it right away. I can pick it up next level. I can pick it up the level after that, if I want to. By the time I actually get to the weapon I want, or by the time I actually can get the class I want, I actually have most of this planned out. By level 9, I'll be switching classes, but until then, I'm going to be working on this class. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Able Learner. What this does is cross-class skills, such as if I want to learn to use magical devices. I always need 2 points. This lowers it to 1 point, so this will allow me to use my points more effectively in the future. And, of course, the name. I am going to go with... I'm going to randomize this name. Vashando, no. Nathano, no. Jenners, no. Jericho, no. Terry, Dart, Fling. Okay, well, since this is giving me anything I'm currently interested, I am going to go with, you know, I'm just going to go with the name Doran. Doran's a name I've been using a lot lately. And Dornfell Reef. I'm gonna up this a little bit, and you know what? I'm not gonna make a history. Not much is, well. The only thing known about my history is clear this. Edit it. The only thing that's known is I have an unusual fixation with axes. So. Well, metalworking. And now
get on him! Attack!
That's pretty much what my character's gonna sound like. Large, rowdy guy, but that doesn't fit me. And I'm not a power hungry, I'm not a sociopath. I am, how should I put this?
By my direction, attack!
There we go. He's strong, and people listen to him, and that's why. Now, my stats, you know, decent. I'm not going to be too great, but so this is basically me creating the character. What we're going into here is the tutorial. This next area is completely optional. You don't have to do it. I've done it before. I'm going to do it again.
Years ago today. My foster son is up and dressed, I see. Today is the High Harvest Fair, and the West Harbor Village Council requires me to man the archery competition. The human need to celebrate Remembrance Days baffles me, but at least something productive may come of it. The merchant Galen is here. He'll want my furs, as he usually does. Coins can be useful in getting by. This past season has been a hard one, for both tilled fields and wildlands. While I attend to the archery contest, I will need you to deal with the merchant. Fetch my furs from the chest, over by the painting.
Okay, so this tutorial thing pops up. You can disable it or you can skip. If you get items by going through the tutorial that if you skip the tutorial, you don't get. So I'm rotating my camera around here. You can see, yeah. I'm only getting 10 frames per second in game. I don't know why. I'm gonna fix that in the next part. Probably because my game's not high priority. But I will see you guys next time. This has been Tetrologist, and next time we'll be actually doing playthrough videos. So until then, good luck, have fun, and see you next time.